I don't care about like drugs and alcohol as far as your body chemistry. It's literally all the calories. It's that 9 calorie shot. Yeah.
Okay.
So you could do like White Claws and
think of the alcohol as your
I'll just
carbs.
switch to acid.
Think of alcohol as carbs, and we're fine. So like,
yeah, that's a lateral move.
So you
Yeah,
have,
it
like,
is.
You have like your sirloin steak.
Dare doesn't want you to know that. The big liquor doesn't want you to know that, but it is.
I've never done acid. You
Oh,
would just
dude,
switch to acid?
Oh, the move. This will change. If you're dealing with liquor issues in your life, this will change your life. You get I got a big water bottle in the fridge, and I drop like 2 or 3 hits in it, and I got it dosed so that a regular shot, you come out, it was like a buzz of a beer. So and it'll last for hours. So if I'm going to a Dodger game, I'll line up 3 shots of my diluted acid water. Pop 3 shots, head to the Dodger game. I'll have 2 beers, 2 $20 beers at the Dodger game, and it's like as good as getting shit faced. You don't overdo it. Like you're a lot more mellow, but you're still enjoying baseball. Like that's the measure of any drug is does it make me enjoy baseball?
Yeah.
Yes. Sign me up. Like
Dude, a drug must be amazing if it makes you enjoy $20 beers.
Yeah, and baseball.
But only 2 of them. Usually I'm good for like 7. Like, oh, this is fucking miserable. I got to go buy another $20 beer.
That's an expensive baseball game.
Yeah, they're so expensive. It's no good. No.
Wait, so
do you like acid?
Oh yeah, I love.
Yeah. What's the most you've ever taken?
Just 1 or 2.
Okay.
1 or 2. It'll last you like 12 hours. You know, it makes your. Have any of you done acid?
I've done acid.
You done acid? It makes my. It's either just like a totally chill fear and loathing experience. I don't see anything crazy like that. Like blinking, you'll see a bunch of like demons and spiders and stuff. But as long as your eyes are open, you're fine.
You don't see stuff moving. You don't see like
and spiders. And stuff.
I'll see like stucco will undulate.
Like the sort of breathing pulsating thing.
Yeah, but you have to look at it. It's not like you're getting like all these fucking posters are coming alive and getting me.
If I don't stop and look at it, then it won't be there. But if I stop and I look for it, almost, it's there. So like a TV that's paused might look like it's still playing, or like a cell phone might have like wiggly bits around the perimeter or something like that. I took a lot. I took 4, and like the sky was breathing, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. That's the best drug. That's the best drug.
I agree. The only bad time I ever had on it was I did a bunch of acid, and I took my dog to the dog park, and a bunch of these fucking kids were there screaming and hollering and like trying to pet my dog and fucking with my dog with sticks. And it turned into this weird, oil painting,
painting. Nailed it. Yeah. That's an aesthetic that acid plays up, is this oil painting thing. This
really?
Like how brush strokes are in oil painting. Like when I would look at my phone, it would have these sort of scallops of that oil painting color wiggling around the perimeter, sort of how like a fancy painting has that border that it's framed in, and it has those little scalloped shapes of like, maybe just brush strokes or something, or maybe it's usually wood that's been like notched out or something with like a hand tool to make it decorative. But my phone had those, and they were fucking wiggling around and shit. But I was still like plenty sober enough, at least mentally speaking, to be like, so right now my phone has some oil painting bits around the perimeter. That's weird. I'm not like wasted out of my mind, like not knowing what's going on or being.
So you're still with it enough to be
100%.
like, what I'm looking at is clearly because I took acid.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm like, well, this much acid makes things look very odd, doesn't it? Very odd indeed.
It turns you into a bit of an asshole too. Oh my, what a sophisticated experience we're having right here. It will make you a little meta, overly meta, intolerably meta. But you will never laugh harder. You'll never laugh fucking harder.
I've never laughed harder. It was very, very funny. And I watched some animation, like some of the classic shit, like Alice in Wonderland and maybe Fantasia, and it was fucking great. There was another person there on acid, and they were freaking out, like having a minor, like I called it like white girl having her third like Mike's Hard Lemonade drum. But it was that reaction, and I kept saying, "I'm like, you're like a white girl who's had her third fucking mics, dude. Chill the fuck up, chill the fuck out. Like come on, chill the fuck out." And
We're all on acid.
we're
Chill
all on
out.
acid. Like, but the floor's moving. Yeah, it's moving
it's
for us
not.
all. Chill the fuck out.
Do
We
you
all
need
see the floor moving, and we're
So with-
enjoying it. Stop being weird.
with the amount you guys were doing, you don't need a babysitter or anything. You could just go
No.
about your life. Like you're not getting sculled off of it or anything.
No,
If we'd had to deal with any adult shit, I mean, that wouldn't have been good. But I did it at night, and I didn't have any adult shit to do. But if like somebody came to my door and needed me to like fill out a form or like give them
That
some
would be
fucking information,
impossible.
it'd have been weird. I think I'd have gotten it done, but they'd have been like, "That guy's fucking weird, huh?" like you see, I was licking his nose. He kept like he touched the tip of his nose with his tongue 3 times and then look around like a lizard. It was weird. And meanwhile, I'm like seeing flies around me, and I am a lizard in my mind or something. Like I'm trying to catch them. No,
I
it's,
accidentally did some acid and then had to interview Onision on the kill stream. Did I tell you guys this story?
No, you
Probably-
did not.
Oh, I didn't? Oh,
No.
you know who Onision is,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, he's
embroiled
kind
in
of a big
controversy.
guy. It was right. Okay, it was right when Chris Hansen tried to fuck him over. Chris Hansen had the Chris Hansen to Catch a Predator.
He was on the show.
Oh, he was. So he had led like a year-long thing of like uncovering Onision's predatory whatever, and I don't know that much about the guy, but I was busting his balls on Twitter, saying like, "Oh, you should call into the kill stream, right? And we'll show Chris Hansen because Chris Hansen wanted to not do it live and record it and then release it later, and it's like, no one's gonna do that. Come on, you're gonna make him look like an idiot. We know how the news works." So I said, "Oh, you should come on Twitter," and then I popped in some acid, and I'm like, dee. And about 2 hours later, right when it kicks in, I get a text from somebody saying like, "Oh, can't wait to see you interviewing Onision tonight on the kill stream." I said, oh no. So I said, "Honey, I told her about this." She gets home from work, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, "Oh, that's great." I'm like, "No, I did a bunch of acid like 2 hours ago."
How much? How much did you do?
Just one.
Okay.
One. Yeah. So I said, "Can you like go to the store and can you go to the drugstore and get me some Ipecac so I can throw it up?" And she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I saw a Family Guy where they drank Ipecac and they all started throwing up, and it's like a thing that you drink and it makes you throw up." And she's like, "Okay." So I start trying to make myself throw up. Because it's not hit me yet. Or there was like a half hour or something. I can still get this up. And I imagine the little thing floating around in my stomach, and it's like slowly getting it out. I'm like, "Gotta get this fucking thing out of here."
Just so everybody's clear,
It's
it
already
was
gone.
all over.
Yeah.
It was over. It was over.
So I'm like, desperately trying. I have my whole fucking hand in my mouth like I'm trying to gut a fish or like stuff a turkey. And I'm like, why isn't this working? Like, how do girls do this? I can't make myself throw up. I'm just throwing up like bile kind of down my hand.
Yeah.
She comes back. I'm slumped over on the toilet, just like drenched in sweat. And she goes, "The guy at CVS said they stopped making Ipecac like 30 years ago or in the 70s or something." He didn't know what the fuck.
Do you want the home remedy?
What is it?
It's very salty water. Just take the
I
salt.
tried that too. That was the next thing she did. She's like, I looked it up. It's salty water. I'm like, okay, fucking bring on the salt. Let's go. Salt, milk, everything. I'm chugging it. And finally, I'm like, this is just disgusting at this point. Like, it's just piled on top of the acid.
So you
So,
had to do the acid with all that salt in your
Yeah.
belly and
So-
the acid.
and the
you're-
acid.
I just imagine your lips are parched. You're so
Oh.
dehydrated, but you're seeing shit too.
So 5 hours later, I'm on this call with fucking Onision with my bathrobe tied. I'm totally naked because I'm sweating like a fucking maniac. I'm so worried about thousands of people are listening to this. Is like the interview that Chris Hansen couldn't get, and of course I'm not just gonna say, "Hey, Ralph, I cancel." Like I did too much acid.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna fucking nail this. Here we go. So I tie my bathrobe around I'm sitting right here. I tie the lights are all off. I'm looking at my phone. All the buttons are like, like you were saying that they do.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to do this interview and not giggle and sound like pretend normal, like, oh, so you're saying this, and he's talking about all these horrible, like he starts talking about how when his kid walked out the window of his house or something, is some kind of, I guess it's his horrible tragedy, and then he's talking about how he like heard a demon laughing or something, and I just couldn't contain myself. I'm like, what do you mean? You heard a demon when your kid walked out the window of your house? Like, I start laughing, and everybody on the I can tell that they're horrified because they're like, why are you fucking saying that? Why are you calling him out on this demon thing about his kid? And I'm like, because it's fucking retarded. I don't know what you want me to say. He's trying to like tell the story of a demon talking to him after his kid died, and then Keemstar jumps on. I'm like, oh my fucking god. I'm like, baby, am I doing a good job? And she's like, well, you're sweating a lot. Okay. So I'm busting his balls, and I'm trying not to bust his balls so much that he just leaves, but he's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have a relationship with Onision, but he's like he's weird. I was on acid, so what do I know? But he seems like a real weird fuck.
I bet he thinks you're just a normal guy.
Yeah, oh yeah. And so the interview's done. And Chris Hansen, they were busting Chris Hansen's balls. So Chris Hansen takes a picture, gets his Emmy out, puts it on his coffee table, takes a picture, and sends it to me. He's like, well, this is what I got. Fuck you guys, the interview. This is what I got. And I'm like, okay, hey, everybody listening. I got a secret to tell you guys. I did a bunch of acid after saying he should come on, and I didn't. I've been keeping it a secret this whole time. So,
and meanwhile, you're like not convincing at all. You're like,
yeah, we know
something.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm really fucking wasted on acid.
Dude, either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.